Don't you just hate it when you're so invested in a game and then at the end of the game it suddenly says to be continued? Hello my treasure, welcome back to another video. And in today's video I thought let's talk about 3 recent games that I have beaten and completed 100%. That the variety of games is quite interesting because we have a game which is more meant for the younger audience. We have an 18+ game. And we have a detective game, because yes, I love my detective games. These were games that I completed back in May of this year. So some things aren't completely on top of my mind. So I have here my trusty cheat sheet, which I put on HowLongToBeat, which has my memories and my thoughts about the game also clearly listed. So if I'm looking at the side, that just basically means that I'm looking at, okay, what did I really think about this game? But yeah, the first game, which I'm holding here, you know, like very, you know, like awkwardly, because I want to talk about it. The first game that I want to talk about is Tokyo Psychodemic. And this is the detective game that I talked about in the intro. And I have to be honest, the game is awesome. I was so heavily invested in this game. So what is this game about? This game is a visual novel detective game where you have to solve various suspicious deaths and murders and piece together by finding clues what happened to the victim and if the victim was really murdered or if it was just an accident. You go through 5 cases in this game, and I am not gonna try to spoil anything because the moment I say one thing, then this whole game will be spoiled and you will not have the amazement that I have when I was playing this game. It does work a bit different, this visual novel. So as you can see, it has the anime style on it. However, a large portion of this game features real people and it is more realistic. The characters, well, you play a self-named protagonist and together with your partner Tomona, you solve these mysteries. And you solve these mysteries by going through the crime scenes, looking at items, photographing them, getting more zoomed in on the evidence, listening to audio clips, finding weird anomalies, and also doing heavy research in certain papers to understand why things are happening the way they're happening, and also to piece together, of course, if it is just a accident or really there is some bigger scheme behind it. So this will not spoil the story too much, but you as a person have lost your memory. That was due to experiments by a cult, which by the time that this story starts has been dissolved. However, there are still remnants of this cult, and those remnants of this cult really are the red thread through this story. And yeah, like I said, I really enjoyed this game. This was just watching for me and also puzzling together for me, you know, like a 5-part mini mystery series. So yeah, there are 5 cases in here, and again, I don't want to spoil too much, but yeah, the ending leaves you wanting more. And the people that created the game do hint at that there might be more, because the ending screen for this game is a to be continued. So yeah, I know. I was like, no, it cannot end like this. It cannot end like this. No, why are you doing this to me? Tokyo Psychodemic, definitely worth playing through this one. It is not that long. I played it for 16 hours and 20 minutes. Yes, I record everything, right? And yeah, that mainly had to do with because I kind of for a little bit suck at puzzling things together, and I wanted to read all the documents and all the evidence that was given. And you don't have to do all the reading and getting all the information in order to solve the cases. However, for me, that just made me more immersed in the game. So that's why it took me actually a bit longer than how long they say on How Long to beat this game. But yeah, I definitely recommend Tokyo Psychodemic. Let me also open and let me show you the insert. The insert is also very, very nice. So this is, of course, your desk where you have all the information, photographs, videotapes of the cases. And yeah, like I said, definitely if you are into detective visual novels and want a interesting storytelling, definitely pick up a copy of Tokyo Psychodemic. This is a Japanese version, as you can see, but it comes with English on the card. And after playing something so heavy, I thought, you know what, it's time to play something a bit less heavy. And that is Totally Spies Cyber Mission. Yes, I know. It is a microids game. Microids games are notoriously known for bad games, but hear me out, okay? I love Totally Spies because I have played every Totally Spies game on a Nintendo console. And if you don't believe me, then check this out. This is the Totally Spies Game Boy Advance cartridge. Then that was, of course, part 1. And then, of course, we got into part 2, which was actually my least favorite one because this was on the Nintendo DS. And I don't know, after coming from the Game Boy Advance game, which I really liked, this one was a bit, yeah, I don't know, underwhelming. Let's leave it at that. So this was Totally Spies 2 Undercover. And then we went to Totally Spies 3. Yeah, I lost the box, okay? So deal with it. So yeah, here we have Totally Spies 3, which was also on the Nintendo DS. And also on the Nintendo DS was Totally Spies Around the World. And again, this one I really liked. Also number 3 was not really my game, but number 4, definitely I recommend this one. It was quite short. You can, you know, like complete this in an hour and a half, 2 hours. And it's a really fun game to play. Definitely recommend this one. But yeah, coming back to the game that I beat recently from Totally Spies is Totally Spies Cyber Mission. And yeah, you know what, like I said, I love Totally Spies. And I thought, you know what, let's give this one a try. And I have to say, somehow it was kind of true to all the other Totally Spies. It was bad, but it was so bad that it was good. Okay, hear me out. I don't know how to explain this, right? It was, in this game, there's actually no fighting itself, or at least not fighting in the way that you had in the other games, especially in the Game Boy Advance games. Here you really use your gadgets to either stealth or to trap the enemies. And yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I thought at first that was bad because I just want to kick some ass, right? That's what Totally Spies do, right? They just kick ass. I know it sounds weird, right? So not being able to do that had me in the first 30 minutes, had me like, oh no, I want to kick some ass. Why are you doing this to me? But then I started getting the hang of the gadgets, and the story is also really funny. The spies are now in Singapore. They have to beat a cyber kind of virus villain, and later on, of course, you discover more about it. And yeah, the premise is very interesting. It's very funny. It has, of course, the Totally Spies, you know, funny cutscenes in it, and the interactions are also very cute. So it really is a Totally Spies game, but don't expect to be, you know, like heavily fighting. You are more doing stealth actions, and you're more working towards avoiding the enemies than you are fighting the enemies. There are boss battles in here, right, where you need to do particular things. But again, there is no, you know, like real fighting in there. And because it took me some time to get the hang of all the gadgets right and how to best use them, it still took me 10 hours to beat this game. But I did complete it fully. I loved everything about it. Also, you know, like getting the collectibles and everything. And there is like at the beginning of the screen, you can see all the collectibles that you have. So if you're into collectibles, right, there is a collecting element in it, which you can do. And you can replay the levels. So you don't have to go through the whole storyline. You can just replay the levels where you have missed your collectibles, right, and try to get them. It's not that hard to get all the collectibles, but sometimes I was like, okay, you know what? I'm done with this world. I don't want to go. I see that collectible there, but I'm not going for it because I just don't want to be bothered with it. And I still want to enjoy this game. So having that mindset, I really did enjoy my 10 hours with Totally Spies Cyber Mission. And what the cool thing is about this release is this release comes with 3 sticker sheets, a Whoop certificate, and an exclusive card. And there's even, you know, like there goes the card. And there's even a very cool insight in this box. And yeah, so this is the card. I think I showed them also already in a games pickup video, but if not, I'm sorry. It also comes with these cool little stickers from Alex, Clover, and Sam. There we go. Yeah, Totally Spies really is my jam. They are using the new art style, which is way more glossy than the original art style. Let me show you the final one, right? So it is way more glossy, way more chibis than in the previous. The chibis were also there in the other art style, right? But in this one, it's even more prevalent. But I don't know. I don't really hate the new art direction. It's just that old is not always better, but I really like the old art style for Totally Spies. And that maybe also has to do with some kind of little bit of nostalgia, maybe. I don't know. I also enjoyed this game, right? So who am I to judge the art style? I am a nobody. And then you also get this cute little Whoop certificate. Which you can sign. I love it. You know, like these things make a physical game more fun to also keep in your collection. And yeah, the good thing for me about Totally Spies games is after a couple of years, they're very fun to replay them. So I have replayed also the first Totally Spies on the Game Boy Advance. I have replayed that already 3 times since I got that copy of it. Because, I don't know, it's just fun, it's short, it's lighthearted. And yeah, these are really fun games to play. So I don't know why people are being angry at it. I gave this game a 75 or a 7.5. Oh, by the way, Tokyo Psychodemic, I gave that one a 9. And the only point deduction that game got was because there was a to be continued. And I do not do to be continued, especially in stories which I want to know what the plot is about. So this one I gave a 7.5 because I really enjoyed it. It's not that long. It's okay. The points deduction really came from that there is no real fighting in it. And the spies, they fight, right? They don't only use their gadgets. So I'm keeping that one. That's the reason why the score is a bit lower. If there was fighting in there, this one also would have been, for me, like a 9 game. Because, yeah, it's really cool. I really enjoyed it. I recommend it if you like Totally Spies. And if you're like me, and, you like playing the Totally Spies games, like going for the collectibles, like the story, definitely pick it up. And this one goes on sale quite a lot. So yeah, you can pick it up for quite a good deal. So that one was a European release. The previous one was a Japanese release. And now we have an Asian release, and that is an 18+ release. Here we have Sentimental Deathloop. And Sentimental Deathloop is a similar type of series which I have done, which I have talked about in the past, like for example a Livestream 1 and Livestream 2. And this game features quite a lot of interesting shots. Let's leave it at that. The camera angle is always in a position that you're like, that's an interesting camera angle. So yeah, it is a 18+ game. You're not seeing anything apart from a few panty shots, right? And I think actually more the 18 plus rating is because of the enormous amount of blood in there. Yes. So this game is a kind of like a visual novel, but also a horror survivor game. And you follow the story of Noah, which is this girl here, and her friends Nemu, which is this girl here, Akane and Suzuka. And yes, okay, this game is quite interesting. This game has multiple endings, which I like, right? So same as with a Livestream 1 and Livestream 2, these games have multiple endings. You have better endings. Well, most of the endings are bad. And you have one good ending. And it took me quite a while to get the good ending. Let's leave it at that. So this game, I played for 6 hours and 44 minutes. So almost 7 hours. That doesn't sound like a lot. But this game is like it said, a loop, right? So you try to survive being killed by one of your friends. Yes, I know. And you need to use items in the house where you are trapped in order to survive and not to be killed, and to find out why your friend wants you dead. Yes, your friend wants you dead, and you have no clue why she wants you dead. And yeah, you have to figure that out through each and every loop. So you cannot get out of the loop in at least the first 3 tries. So the first 3 tries, you're dead. Okay, let's leave it at that. You're dead. You're not gonna survive. It's over, you know. Just go into that loop. But after that loop, you start being able to get certain endings. Again, it takes a very long time to get a good ending, and you need to do a lot of things in a particular order in order to be able to get the good ending, because you need to survive a onslaught of your friend trying to kill you. Yes, and I keep repeating your friend, because yes, it is your near and dear friend, and somehow she doesn't want you in her life. Or maybe she does, but she wants you dead. So yeah, this is a again, this, like I said, it's an 18 plus game. It's part of my cultured line of games, and soon, well, it's actually shipping now, and by the time you're seeing this video, it might already be in my house. So this is the same as, for example, Prison Princess, which is now currently also physical on the Nintendo Switch. And that is also, again, a cultured game. And I'm trying to collect all the cultured games on the Nintendo Switch and also play all of them and judge them if they are any good or if they are not. This one I rated an 8.5 or a 85% if you look at it on HowLongToBeat, because I actually really enjoyed it. There is quite a good story behind it. The ending, the true ending, was a bit like, what? Okay, I guess. I don't know. Is that a reason to kill somebody? But, oh well, you know. It does deal with quite some heavy topics in here. So be warned that if you are squeamish to blood, well, you can put the setting on showing everything in purple, right? Danganronpa type of purple blood. But if you are squeamish to, you know, like gory scenes, and if you cannot deal with some of the more heavier topics, which I'm not going to mention, but you will know what type of topics I'm talking about, then yeah, this is definitely not the game for you. Skip it, move over, don't even go there, right? Because it's not the happy-go-lucky game that, for example, you have with a Livestream 1 and 2, which have a bit less, that's more of a survival horror and has a bit of a lesser traumatic type of, well, basically they're also traumatic, but not as traumatic as this one, okay? So this one deals with a lot of unresolved trauma, let's leave it at that. So yeah, also this one, I definitely recommend it. This one also comes with a very beautiful artwork on the inside. This is the thing which I'm going to be so sad about with the Switch 2 inserts, right? Well, the thing is, I might not buy a lot of Switch 2 games, because if I look at my backlog now, and if I look at the games that I've pre-ordered, I mostly have pre-ordered Switch 1 games, because most games that I want to play come on the Switch 1. And they don't release a Switch 2 version for it, or if they release a Switch 2 version for it, it's a game keycard, and I'm not buying game keycards. No, I mean, I already have to deal with a red insert, right? Which is, as you can see, we need white on the inside, not red, because then you can see the beautiful cover art. Ta-da! So yeah, I have to deal with that if it's a physical game, which, okay, I'm fine, but then I need my game, or at least need a playable version on the card, right? So that I don't have to connect to the internet. Yes, you know, like, I'm fine with not having all the patches, because sometimes a lot of the games that I play in my collection, I actually play without any patches on it. And I'm fine, because I am a OG gamer. Let's leave it at that, okay? I come from the Commodore 64 type of gaming. I have patience. I have bad eyesight. And I really don't care about what other people think of a certain game. I need to experience it myself, and it needs to be in a genre that I like. So, yeah, this definitely recommended if you're into the games like Livestream and Prison Princess and Bunny Garden. If you're into those games, for whatever reason, let's leave it also at that. For whatever reason you are into them, if you're into them for the story, if you're into them for the interesting camera angles, then yes, definitely recommend this one. This is, for me, these games are just fun to play, okay? And collecting all the CGs, I like collecting stuff, okay? It doesn't matter if it's a trophy or if it's an art piece of artwork, and if that piece of artwork is not safe for work, I don't care, okay? I need to collect stuff. I like collecting stuff. So yeah, like I said, if you are part of the cultured games, and no, you don't have to be a weird person to like cultured stuff, okay? We're all adults here. So if you like the cultured stuff and you enjoy playing these games, definitely pick up Sentimental Deathloop. So yeah, those were the 3 games that I played. Well, not only in the month of May, I played more games in the month of May, but those were the 3 games that I wanted to discuss in today's video and run you through my thought process in what I experienced with these games and if I recommend them. The thing is, and I will be honest, most people have now already clicked off, right? So this is an afterthought. This is an afterthought. Yeah, with me, I tend to not buy games that I don't enjoy, right? And I don't read reviews, but I am very well versed in what type of games I like and what type of games I not like. So basically, I watch the trailer, I look at the art style, I look at the type of game it is, and then based on those 3 things, I decide if I like a game or not. And then, of course, I have something which I call the frustration level, because some games frustrate me more than other games. And depending on if it's a very high frustration grade, right, then I'm like, okay, you know what, I'm not gonna complete it. Again, if a game lets me grind and work my way hard to get, you know, like something completed, I will go for the grind. I don't mind grinding. But if a game is just hard and there's no way in getting better other than, you know, like honing your own hand-eye coordination skills, yeah, that's not gonna happen, okay? I'm old. It's not gonna get that is not gonna get any better on me as a physical person, right? That I can't up my hand-eye coordination because I have bad eyesight and I'm not the fastest anymore in this world. So yeah, if a game really goes for those type of things, then I'm like, yeah, nope. So I will never play a Souls game, right? Because there, your hand-eye coordination needs to be lightning speed and those kind of things, and your parry and your dodge. And I'm not a parry or a dodge type of person, okay? I'm also not a crouching and stealth type of person, okay? I'm a tank. I go full on in attack. I have this poor little healer standing in the back saying, heal, heal, heal. And I'm just going like a tank, okay? I have, most of the times, only attackers in my game. When I'm playing RPGs, I go for attackers and one very sad healer. Or I even choose an attacker with some healing attributes. So yeah, no, I'm a tank. I'm a berserker, right? I go in for the kill. And I don't do stealth. I don't do parry. I'm horrible at that, and I don't see the point in doing that, okay? I'm just going full on out. And if the game allows me to beat the game in that type of fashion, then yes, it's a game that I will like. Even if the graphics are bad, the load times are bad, the voice acting is bad, the translation is bad. I mean, I don't care. Okay, I'm enjoying the game anyway. I mean, I come from a time where you had fan translations of games. So, you know what? I can deal with a lot of bad stuff where people are all on top of it. But what I cannot deal with is not having especially my Nintendo games, physically on the card. Okay, cannot deal with that. If it's not on the card, I don't care. I don't need digital games from Nintendo, right? Digital third party or also first party games from Nintendo. I don't. I have a PC, okay? I have a Steam Deck. I get my digital games there, okay? So yeah, I really wanted to mention that again because people were in my shorts really going over, you know, like, hey, why did you buy a game key card? That game key card is not mine. It's not in here. It has already left this building, okay? It's with somebody else. I just bought it on behalf of somebody else. I made a short about it to warn everybody what a game key card is, and that's it. And to also complain, and that's the one time I complain about the red insert. It's just that I respect artwork very much. And it pains me to see the artwork not shown. So yeah, well, that was going to be it for this video. This final part was a rant, so you don't have to watch this final part. And I might even put it after the credits. So, but yeah, thank you so much for watching. And as always, I say, miss you, love you, bye-bye.